right, everyone, thank you for joining me for the final segment on the basics of retirement. I'm Justin Anderson of Anderson Griggs Investments, and we are going to talk about expenses. Again, I can't stress this enough. The biggest ultimate reason for making changes in your plans based on retirement is going to be health, your health of you and your spouse and your family. So this is really going to push a lot of these decisions on expenses as well. It's the big unknown. You don't know how healthy you're going to be, how long you're going to be healthy. So you just have to take that into account in all these decisions and just kind of go with it. Look at your family, look at the longevity of both you and your spouse to help you make these decisions. But that being said, the first expense in retirement is the easy one. It's the normal bills. We all know what they are. We've been paying those bills for a very long time. That's your cell phone, it's your TV, your internet, your electric bill, things like that. You need to account for insurance on your home and property taxes. And a lot of times people forget to put those in there. You can put them in a month-by-month basis if you want, whatever the normal amount is, divided by 12. But that's going to be part of your monthly expenses going forward. You obviously need to make sure you have enough of that. Now that does change a little bit in retirement, but I wouldn't think it would change that much. The amount you pay for gas might go down because you're not going to and from work anymore, and it might be that the amount you spend on food goes down because you're not eating out at lunch every day. But for the most part, you can count on those to remain the same. All right, the second group of expenses, and everyone kind of knows what these are too, it's going to be your debt. You need to try to pay your debt off before you reach retirement. If you can do that, you're sitting pretty. It's just how it works. If you're not worried about losing something because you can't pay the bills, first off, your stress levels are going to be a lot less. But second, that discretionary income is going to be able to go to the things you want it to go to, the more fun things, as opposed to paying things off. So it's hard to do, but when you're going through your financial history, if you have excess funds available that you don't need, put it towards your home, put it towards your car. Credit cards, keep those low when you can. Everyone knows that they're the biggest interest-bearing debt that you're going to have in most cases. They can really hurt you over a long period of time. So credit cards, keep them low, don't use them if you don't have to. And finally, any loans you might have outstanding. And that includes loans on your 401k. A lot of people, I would urge you not to do that as well. But a lot of times you're able to take a loan out on a retirement plan or an insurance policy. If you're able to stay away from that, it's probably better. You can put them off for a long time. You don't really actually pay bills on it. You don't see it. It's internal. And if you put it off for a long time and then all of a sudden at retirement, you realize you have these loans against these vehicles, it can kind of mess up your plans a little bit. The third expense, and this is the biggest one, and I've talked about it plenty of times throughout these videos, but it's going to be your healthcare costs. A lot of times people think if, when I get to Medicare, I don't have any more costs involved. Medicare takes care of it at all. But first off, that's not true. You have to pay Medicare costs monthly. If you have a lower income and you're paying the lowest amount for Medicare costs for Parts B and Parts D, that's your outpatient, like if you go to the doctor, or your drugs, that's Part D, to get the drug subscription. It's going to be about $150 a month. So even after that doesn't cover everything. You still have to pay. There's a deductible for hospital stays. There's a deductible for outpatient services. Those can vary based on whatever supplemental plan you have. And then even after that, you still have to pay a percentage of all those bills. So it's not going to cover 100% of things. All right. So about how much are these healthcare costs going to be? Well, there's been studies out there. The AARP has done some things, and what they have found is this can easily consume 40% of your discretionary income. So 40% of whatever your income you identified earlier can be, you can think of that going towards healthcare costs. So that includes the Medicare monthly expenses that you're going to have, but also any of the deductibles, copays, and things like that. They also come up with a big total figure that you kind of guess that you're going to spend on healthcare at retirement until you die. And this is for people who don't enter any kind of long-term care situations. That number is $240,000. So $250,000 is what you're going to be dishing out to cover your healthcare, even for people just normal good health. You go to the doctor when you're sick. It can come to about $240,000. So that does kind of bring us into that next thing I said. This is one of the biggest unknowns. You might have to be put into a full care facility. They're extremely expensive. If it's going to concern you a whole bunch, you just have to know you have to save a lot of money. We're in South Carolina. Monthly costs for assisted to full care range from about $1,500 to $6,000 to $7,000 for full care per month. That can quickly eat away at any savings you have. So if it's something you're concerned about, you're just going to have to go and save a lot more throughout your working history. So anyway, don't forget to consider healthcare when you're thinking about these expenses in retirement. It's going to be a very big bulk of the drain on your savings and on your monthly income. And finally, there's one other expense. It's kind of miscellaneous. So we have miscellaneous expenses due to the tree falls on your house and for whatever reason the insurance doesn't cover, so you got to buy a new roof. But there's also the fun side of things. Retirement needs to be fun. That's one of the reasons you're retiring. You want to be able to do the things that you want to do. So if that includes things like traveling, that a lot of people don't want to do, taking care of the grandkids, taking them on trips, if you need a certain amount of that to, you want to guarantee it. Some people are big planners and they want to set aside a certain figure for that. It just has to be part of your planning going forward. So plan ahead, do that so you can have some good fun in retirement. Other than that, thank you for joining me.